In the vast, sun-scorched sands of Libya, a legend was born. Not a king, not a general, but a teacher who defied an empire. He didn't lead armies from ivory towers. He didn't command fleets or rule from a golden throne. He rode a horse, carried a rifle, and stood for something bigger than himself. Welcome to What Happened, where we unravel the greatest moments in history, one country at a time. And for our 21st chapter, we are exploring the story of Omar Mukhtar. The year is 1911. Italy, craving a colonial empire of its own, sets its sights on the Ottoman-controlled regions of North Africa. They invade Libya, expecting an easy conquest. But Libya was not just sand and silence. It was pride. It was tradition. And its people were not going down without a fight. Among them was Omar Mukhtar, a humble man, a Quran teacher, a thinker. By all means, an unlikely warrior. But underestimating him would be Italy's greatest mistake. At the age of 53, when most are slowing down, Mukhtar was just getting started. He gathered tribes, united clans, and trained ordinary villagers to become fierce guerrilla fighters. His tactics were brilliant. Hit-and-run ambushes, night raids, knowledge of the terrain so intimate, he could vanish into the desert like smoke. His fighters didn't need numbers. They had purpose. For 2 decades, this humble teacher outmaneuvered one of the most powerful military machines in Europe. 20 years of defiance, bloodshed, and sacrifice. But Rome had no patience for embarrassment. In 1922, Benito Mussolini rose to power in Italy, and with him came fascism and fury. Mussolini launched a brutal campaign to crush the resistance once and for all. Entire villages were torched, crops destroyed, wells poisoned. Over 100,000 Libyans were herded into concentration camps. Thousands died of starvation and disease. Still, Omar Mukhtar refused to yield. With every attack, every Italian defeat, his legend grew. But so did the cost. By 1931, the noose was tightening. The Italians constructed barbed wire fences spanning hundreds of kilometers. They deployed planes, tanks, and thousands of troops. And finally, betrayal. A Libyan informant exposed his location. He was captured after a fierce battle, wounded, exhausted, but unbroken. The Italians put him on trial in a military court. The verdict? Already decided. They asked him to beg for his life. They promised him clemency if he swore loyalty to Italy. But Omar Mukhtar didn't flinch.
We win or we die. And don't think it stops there.
On September 16th, 1931, Omar Mukhtar was led to the gallows in front of thousands of Libyans, many of them forced from their homes, now prisoners in their own land. They watched in silence as the symbol of their resistance was executed. But they didn't see defeat. They saw a martyr, a hero, a man who chose dignity over submission, freedom over fear. Mukhtar's death did not end the Libyan resistance. In fact, it planted the seeds of revolution. Decades later, when Libya fought again for independence, his name was their battle cry. Today, his image is printed on Libyan currency. Schools, streets, and children bear his name. He is not just a national hero. He is an icon of global resistance. This is not just a story about Libya. It's a story about courage, about how one man, armed with conviction and a rifle, stood against an empire and roared like a lion. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from history's hidden corners. What country should we explore next? Tell us in the comments below.